Hi, my name's Denise. Welcome to my channel. This week is a few bits and pieces that I've put together. It actually is quite a long one, so it might be a great one for you to art along with me. Maybe put it on your iPad, on your art table if you feel like company while you're making art. I know that I like doing that sometimes. I got out some gouache. And I've sort of thought about it as sneaking up on myself because I'd like to be starting to paint more larger still lifes. But I recognize that it's a new, kind of a new arena, and I'm not quite sure how I want them to be. So I need to spend some time experimenting. So that's what this video pretty much holds. And if you'd like to support me in this channel, just simply like the video. That would be really helpful. And if you want to see some more, do subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy it. I started to move things around here, and look, my table is out of control again. I did have this plank along here, and I had all the brushes on it, but I had to move that away to move the table. But what I have a question about is, for you who do still lifes, where do you set yourself up and your subject? Because I thought I would move and have a bit more room here, and then I wanted to work maybe on this easel, but that's sort of like next to the things. I feel like I need to be in front of the things, but this feels a bit too far away. This could be good distance to do sketching and not getting too worried about detail. But then I've got daytime sun comes in here, so we're in the southern hemisphere, so that's north. The northern hemisphere, south is where you get your sun, I think, during the day. So my sun's there all day, and then afternoon sun comes in there. So I had to put something behind the painting because the reflection coming through can make shapes that you don't want on your canvas when you're trying to concentrate. So if you have some ideas for me as to where you like to stand and where you set up your still life, I'd love to hear it, because still life painting from subjects in the room is really new to me still. I've not done it all that much, and I don't want to do realism, but I would like to get a nice likeness of things. So I do need to kind of see detail, and then hopefully sort of endeavour to paint it loosely. So yeah, let me know what your experience is with this. I'd like to hear it. Of course, the other thing that happens with the setup being by the window like this is the light just changes all the time. But with the fact that we've got so much light, it is beautiful for seeing the details and the colour. Is kind of gorgeous, but trying to get that across to a painting is almost impossible. So that's going to be an interesting exercise perhaps. And I better catch these geraniums before they all fall off. They're the most wonderful red. So yeah, interesting. Well, of course, I couldn't wait for responses as to how to do it. So I'm trying something. I moved the table around, and now I have to reset it up. And so now I'm hoping I can stand at the easel. I've got easy access from this end. I'll have my table with my paint on my right-hand side, which would really help me because I'm right-handed. And even though the hot sun will pour in here, if it becomes a problem at any time, I guess I can put the blind down. But yeah, so now to set it all up again. Oh gosh. Petunias took a dive, so did some of the neo colours. Oh Lord, here we go. Yes, we've lost a few petunias. But here's the things gathered again, and so I just might have to move things around a little bit more, but yeah, I'll see how we go. I think I need to do some sketchbook pages of it first, and I've been meaning to set up a tray with pots of paint like I've seen Sandy Hester do, and somehow been resisting it ridiculously, so I might have to try that today. I keep seeing, palettes being used in watercolour trays, and I've looked at them so many times in different stores and I still haven't committed. And then I remembered I had this little tray full of Winsor & Newton gouache. And so I thought, oh, that will be interesting to play with, because from what I can gather, it's re-wettable. So it behaves like watercolour, but it's more opaque, so not as see-through. And so I have a lovely little selection that I'd bought and just barely used. So I'm just putting them out on a plastic lid to make sort of a palette, and again trying to encourage myself to play. And I couldn't get a few of the tubes open. They're really tight to open, so I didn't end up being able to put all of the different sort of tealy blues that I had, which it didn't really matter because they weren't needed in the flowers that I was trying to paint. So yeah, that's what's happening. had the idea to make like a concertina booklet to just play with this gouache and florals. And one of the things I just learned in a little class the other morning, actually the class I missed out on getting in, so I woke up at 3 a.m. to join an art class on Zoom, but the class was full by Carla Sonham. She had a guest artist, and they do a once a month class. And so what the idea was that you bring some little card size on the call, and I watched the replay and everybody did it portrait, but as I was home at 3 a.m. on my own, I just sort of made it up, and I ended up making a little story. And then the idea is that you join it together and make a little concertina book. So it was quite a lovely, gentle, beautiful exercise that I took myself through. So I woke up very early o'clock to join a Zoom class to draw and make a little concertina story. So there's me, Philip, in bed. There's the alarm going off. And then I logged in, but the classroom was full, so I decided to just do a little story about that. I had a cup of tea first. Yeah, so it was 100 capacity in the classroom. I had a piece of toast, a piece of Vegemite toast for sustenance, and water for dehydration alleviation because I needed the heater on to warm up my chilly room. I brought my coloured pencils with me. So I brought my little jars of coloured pencils, which, yeah, did a rough drawing of those. And then little Dee Dee feels very happy to be making tiny art. It's her favourite kind. And can you believe Dee Dee drinks dandelion tea all the time? Maybe it's a good wishing tea. Big Dee Dee has head pain, so she may need to drink extra water and possibly 2 Panadol. And then this is another little figure. I've been noticing my mood has been low this week. I'm listening carefully to see what parts are trying to speak to me. So that's the ongoing internal family systems idea. And then the last page, some lines, wanted to go on a wiggly walk. So that's the random little storybook that happened because of the invitation of a class to make a little concertina book. That's what happened. So that's was quite lovely. And so I thought, well, why don't I do just a little bit bigger version of that. The interesting thing about this one was to do each card separately and then join them together. That's what I actually wanted to show you in the first place here. The joining together can be done with little pieces of paper and your glue stick. I don't think I'd ever thought of that or done that before. I've always just used tape. So that's another option. That then you could even decorate those. You could use paper that's already painted. So I kind of like that. So I thought I might join this together like that. But now that I'm talking to you, I'm wondering if it would be worthwhile cutting these down into cards or doing a concertina and having them all joined on together. So I might ask myself that and see what myself says. Okay, so I got the idea to make separate cards. So all I'm going to do is fold this into 1, 2, 3, 4. So there'll be 8 panels. I've already changed my mind and I'm going to use a concertina book. Because I thought, how annoying that I'd have to join them all together after anyway. So in this instance, I don't want to do that. I want to try and continue and just play on this concertina book. You can use something as simple as just printer paper for the joining. So I'm going to go ahead and do that today. When I get to this piece, I might make sure to paint over it, and it'll have a nice ripped edge texture to it. So now I have a little concertina book that's, oh, it wants to fall apart already. So that needs a little fold. Okay. So I've been looking at this arrangement of things and finding it really hard to come into a place of, all right, let's paint this. So I thought I would sneak up on the idea by doing a really wiggly sketch in my little wee sketchbook. There's something about this tiny sketchbook and just using my fine black pen. What is it called? The Uniball. Really nice, easy to use pen. And just sneaking up and making these shapes and doing this wiggly thing is very satisfying and happy making. And so I hope to kind of bypass the perfectionist, and I feel like it's like sneaking up on myself and finding a way in. And I found a little friend when I was at Bondi with my friend this week, who I've brought home to be here. And so that's kind of interesting too. That sort of deer medicine, if you like, has made its way into my awareness. So that's curious, isn't it? So I was inspired by my little setup to do a wiggly sketch in my little book there. And so I thought I'd set that up to inspire me with this little concertina. And it really lent itself that wide view because the table, you know, is quite wide and there's all these different plants and bits and pieces that I've laid out. And so really this was giving me a chance to just play with some gouache. And my intention was to paint quite loose, and I didn't pre-draw. I just used the gouache straight up. So what I think I'll do is, you know, let this be something you might come back to if you want to art along with me, or maybe pause and get your art things out if you feel like having company. I think what I'll do is I'll just put music on for the rest of this video of just drawing these bits and pieces loosely on this part of the concertina. And so it'll be about 20 minutes. I was a bit smitten by the flowers in this picture. And so that's what inspired this page in another art journal, and an art creations journal, that is. And so I've just thought I would bring some texture in and a bit more detail using pencils over the top of the watercolour, the gouache that I had done that page. Again, trying to do loose. So that's what you're seeing here, is just trying to play. That's the idea, to loosen up and play in the journal. If I'm honest, I'm not in love with the effect. I'm in a bit of a wondering about it, because well, the cup, I really kind of didn't get a grasp of the pattern that the cup has at all. But I sort of enjoy this more. There's more freedom, and that was inspired by this magazine image. I just loved that so much. I put it on my welcome page on my new journal, and so that just that whole array of shapes there is so lovely. So just trying to do a loose version of that to start was fun. It was more fun. I could feel that one started to get a bit more, the right colours in the right places, whereas the wiggly line sketch I enjoy more without any colour. That I can really enjoy the details, and I feel like colour just comes in and distracts from those in a way. And in effect, I'm sort of trying to put more detail in because I'm not using colour, I think. So it's just some interesting things to observe and ponder about, and why I have so much resistance to using gouache and things. It's interesting. It's almost like I have a preference for the drawn and colour in, but yeah, I don't know. I won't bore you with my details right now. I'm coming back at the end, and if you're watching this piece, I know that you're a dedicated watcher because this is a long one. And thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you, new followers. I really appreciate you. And it's lovely to hear from you. So do comment below if there's something you'd like to share. And I'll see if I can make a bit of a list of some of the materials I used as well. All right, I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye.